ping pong balls giveth, and the ping pong balls taketh away. Always a bridesmaid, never a bride. The New York Knicks missed out on the golden ticket Tuesday night. New Orleans leaped up from the 7th spot to the top of this year's NBA draft lottery, earning the right to take Duke's sensation, Zion Williamson, in next month's NBA draft. The Pelicans had just a 6% chance to win the lottery, even with the last #1 pick in Knicks history, Patrick Ewing, representing the team. The basketball gods weren't having it. When the 5th selection was waiting to be unveiled, after a moment, NBA Deputy Commissioner Mark Tatum revealed that the Cleveland Cavaliers would have the 5th pick, meaning the orange and blue, who had the worst record last season, were in the top 4. It wasn't to be, though, as the LA Lakers would get the 4th pick and the Knicks the 3rd. The Lakers also made a big leap. The Knicks couldn't even lose properly, folks. More on this debacle in the C list. The NBA playoff schedule will have Toronto and Milwaukee playing tonight in Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Finals. Portland and Golden State will square off in Game 3 Saturday night. Game 3 for the Eastern Series will be on Sunday. On the NHL playoff ice, San Jose and St. Louis will play Game 4 tonight. On the baseball diamond, the Yankees will welcome division rival Tampa Bay to the Bronx for a weekend series. The Mets will be in Miami this weekend. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. received some advice from Baseball Hall of Famer father. That, of course, Vlad Sr., after hitting the first 2 home runs of his career. In return, the younger Guerrero plans on sending his dad a few mementos from his historic performance. Guerrero homered twice to become the 3rd youngest player to hit his first 2 Major League homers in the same game, and the Toronto Blue Jays beat the San Francisco Giants 7-3 Tuesday night. Vlad Jr. is also the youngest Blue Jay to ever homer. He's off to a pretty terrific start in Toronto. In horse racing, the Preakness Stakes is Saturday at Pimlico Racecourse in Baltimore. This, of course, will be the first action since the controversial Kentucky Derby. We move to the links, where the action has been gearing up all week in Farmingdale, New York. How quickly the questions change. Before the Masters just a month ago, all the focus was on whether Tiger Woods was back enough to win a major. With that question answered, the questions shift to what can he do next? And how can they stop him? As the PGA Championship unfolds at Bethpage Black, the focus is on Woods. We will find out this weekend. The PGA will crown a winner on Sunday. With that in mind, as the best golfers in the world descend upon New York, I've put together my list of the top 4 finishes from the PGA Championship in New York and Bethpage State Park, the famous Black Course. The 2002 and 2009 editions of the U.S. Open were staged at Bethpage Black. Additionally, the Barclays, now the Northern Trust, was held at the course in 2012 and 2016 as part of the PGA Tour's FedEx Cup playoffs. Coming in at number 4, the 2002 U.S. Open. Only one player finished under par during the 2002 U.S. Open, and it allowed him to capture his 8th major championship and 2nd U.S. Open win. Yes, we are, of course, talking about Tiger Woods. Woods led wire to wire at Bethpage as Phil Mickelson finished runner-up for the 2nd of now 6 times in his career at the U.S. Open. At number 3, 10 years ago, the 2009 U.S. Open. Unlike the 2002 edition at Bethpage, the 2009 championship featured several players under par. But that doesn't mean the course and Mother Nature didn't still present difficult challenges. The rain was an issue from the start of the week, suspending play throughout the rounds and forcing a Monday finish. Following a 1-under opening round that left him 5 shots off the lead, Lucas Glover carded an incredible 6-under 64 round to leave him 1 shot back of Ricky Barnes, who set the U.S. Open 36-hole scoring record with an 8-under 132. The final round had the 54-hole leaders of Barnes and Glover come back to the field, but it was Glover who was able to hold on and capture the win on Monday with a 3 over 73. The 2 spot belongs to the 2012 Barclays. Nick Watney rebounded from a rough season to take down Sergio Garcia, who entered the final round with a 2-shot lead. Watney finished at 10 under for the tournament, 3 shots clear of the runner-up. And the top spot for me goes to a recent championship, the 2016 Barclays. That one was a fun one to watch. Ricky Fowler held the lead early in the final round, but it was Patrick Reed who held on for a 1-shot lead to win the first leg of the FedEx Cup playoffs. Outside of the leaders, it was Jason Day's putt on the 15th, which went down as one of the best putts of that season. I'll be rooting for Tiger this weekend. The last time Woods showed up at a major coming off the previous one as a winner was the 2008 Masters. Twitter was new. George Bush was president. Nick Saban had coached only 1 season at Alabama. The Houston Astros were in the National League, and Steph Curry was a college sophomore a long time ago and a galaxy far, far away. Those are the headlines. We hit the C-list for more on the ping pong ball that got away. First, let me explain how this tragedy really happened. This year marked the first time since 2005 that the NBA's lottery system underwent any changes. Under the prior system, having the worst record in the NBA meant having a 25% chance of winning the top pick, with each subsequent pick down to the final spot in the lottery, the 14th selection having a lesser chance of winning. The league would draw for each of the top 3 spots in the lottery. Starting this year, the teams with the 3 worst records had the same chance, 14% of winning the lottery, followed by a much more gradual change in the percentages of jumping up. In addition, the NBA boosted the number of lottery spots available from the drawing from 3 to 4. In other words, in the one season when the Knicks were the most dreadful of all time, it figures that it didn't really matter after all. That's how New Orleans could move up the way that it did. That's how the LA Lakers moved up the way that they did. The Cleveland Cavaliers lost LeBron James and have a worse pick than the LA Lakers. Think about that. Now, add in the fact that Zion Williamson wanted to play for the New York Knicks, and the pain is even more for the orange and blue faithful. Williamson, who averaged 22.6 points and 8.9 rebounds per game as a true freshman for Duke last season, sat in the front row when the draft lottery took place in Chicago. 2019 Associated Press College Basketball Player of the Year Williamson was hoping to get selected by the Knicks, a source told ESPN's The Undefeated. The final 4 picks in the draft lottery came down to the Pelicans, Knicks, Lakers, and of course the Memphis Grizzlies, who will pick second. After it was announced that the Pelicans landed the top pick, Williamson bolted out of the room without a verbal reaction. Pelicans brass was ecstatic, of course, and are hopeful that landing Williamson could persuade All-Star forward Anthony Davis, the Knicks' other coveted target, to rescind a trade demand and play with the heralded youngster and guard Drew Holiday in New Orleans. Imagine that. The Knicks' plan of getting Anthony Davis to play with Zion Williamson was stripped right from their fingertips and could easily be the plan for the Pelicans now. Of course it is. Striking out on Zion may also mean that Kevin Durant doesn't come this summer. That was New York's other plan, I would assume. Pair KD with Zion and perhaps one other big free agent signing like Kyrie Irving or Kemba Walker. I'm hoping Ja Morant somehow falls to number 3. That's best case scenario. Otherwise, it will likely be Duke's second star, R.J. Barrett, coming to New York, or New York trading the pick in a deal for another star. You never know. Davis may still want New York regardless of Zion. Nonetheless, as of this moment, whatever the Knicks did to the basketball gods, it could be, perceived of as something not pretty, because the orange and blue are now in a perpetual state of hoops purgatory. I call it mediocrity. That's your sports. I'm Bobby C.